It's time for the one and only Jess T, the angel of the airwaves, is back, live, loud, exclusively, here on countryradiouk.
Angel, she's a saint. I'm telling y'all, there ain't no prayer like mama's. Now she's watching over us. I'm telling y'all, there's just no prayer like mama's.
This is Jess T here in London. And this afternoon, I am speaking with Jay Allen. Jay, how are you doing?
Good, Jess. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. This feels like an impromptu meeting in the sense that, no, it didn't feel like we had time to know that you were coming to the UK and then you were here, which is absolutely fantastic. We've all followed your journey. And it's just great to see you over here. Is this the start of something, a new relationship with the UK?
Absolutely. You know, when I put out Blank Stares, a song I wrote for my mother, and I went uber viral. People from the UK started reaching out immediately. I've tried to get over here so many times, it's just so expensive. Finally made sense. We made the most out of it. So it feels like, you know, like the first 5 people I met, I felt like they were family. You know, hilarious. We have, you know, same perspective. Everyone's, you know, took us in like family, has been so loving and kind and hospitable. And we've been belly laughing the whole time. And just, I don't know. It's so cool how, you know, not to be super cheesy, but it's cool how God works. Makes people good.
Right, and it's good to hear that us English folk are charming you with our humour.
Yeah.
We can be humorous.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm glad that you've had some fun, but you know, on a serious note, you mentioned Blank Stares, which is, you know, a huge song of yours, and we will talk about that, but you've been writing songs for a long time. You've been writing music for a long time. You come from Iowa.
You've done your research, Jess.
From a farm.
Yes.
For, you know, which I think is a humble beginning. But with that, you know, you're going to meteoric heights, and I think that's an amazing thing. But from starting out of that and working really hard, a long time to get to Nashville, to get you up to where you are now.
Yeah.
Blank Stares is the song that did it. But what about music before?
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't know is I've written 2,000 songs. Now 2001, because I wrote a song here. I wrote a song in Wales with my guitarist who's sitting over here. Yeah, you know what? You can make all the plans you want in life, but sometimes there's just a road you're supposed to go down. And let me here, you know. So I never really thought I'd be the guy to move to Nashville. That's a whole nother story. So let's just jump into it. So I'm married to a gal named Miss Kylie Morgan. She's an artist as well, signed to Universal in the States, and a little badass. But what a lot of people don't know is I was married before. She was kind of a childhood sweetheart of mine, and just got married too young. No hard feelings, we just kind of grew apart. But I was a music director at churches. There came a point where I woke up one morning and she said, Jay, you need to move to Nashville, otherwise you never will. You'll regret it and you'll resent me. And so over a couple weeks' time, she convinced me to make that move. So I left her and lived in Nashville for 4 months without her. We kind of just decided to try to make it work. And so I was working full time. I was networking in Nashville, making as many friends as possible. I started a band. We immediately got off of a record. And so while I'm going back and forth and trying to navigate that, I finally moved my then wife to Nashville, get all settled. And she let me know that she actually found a new guy and broke my heart. And then at the same time, the record deal fell apart, the band fell apart. So you know, I didn't want to move to Nashville because of that, because I'd heard so many horror stories. You know, you go and you get heartbroken, and then you got to go back home with your tail between your legs, waste all that time and energy, get your dreams crushed. So I was like, this is why I didn't do this. So I decided to play one last show in Nashville, and I was going to quit. And I played that show to 5 people. They had their backs turned towards me at a bar. And I walk off stage, and to my surprise, Billy Currington, huge country artist, walks around the corner. He had been on the edge having a beer with his girlfriend. I said, Jay, never heard of you before, just watched your whole set. I just want to say one thing, never leave Nashville. He said he was in Nashville for 9 years, working for a concrete company for anyone who cared at all about him. So he said, if I could bestow a little bit of wisdom on you, the last man standing wins. So I've held on to that ever since. I started writing my butt off. I started just fighting for myself for the first time ever. And while I'm going through a little divorce, you know, and started writing all these songs, and I got my first publishing deal. And then I ended up signing to Sony. And then I was writing twice a day, every day. And it became a passion and a livelihood for me. And then I got a song on the radio, and then my mom got sick. And, you know, I was writing all these songs, fighting for myself, trying to navigate what that looked like, but it was very empty and very selfish until I wrote that song for my mama, and then kind of all the pieces fell into place, and I realized this is my purpose, to help people with my voice and my music and my stories and my heartache, because all of us have gone through that. And it's really easy to get entrapped in the feeling that you're the only one going through that. You're in your own skin, you only see out of your own eyes, but we're all wired the same. You know, we all have those same emotions and heartbreak moments and dark times, and so we have to lean on each other. And the way that I do it is through music. So it's been beautiful to bring that over here.
You really have. Thank you for your story. I think, as we say, as we've led to Blank Stares, that exactly has made all the difference to you, but all the difference to everybody, because you wrote about something that I don't know if there's any songs really about that. There's songs about dementia, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
And we have spoken that there's a few of us who have experienced that the same as you, and the impact of what you've chosen to do and how you've chosen to utilize your music. You've raised over $1 million, but not only that, you've raised over
$100 million.
100.
Not to brag, I just want everyone to understand, like, to see the little progress that we've had and the amount of money we've had to raise. We've made a little bit of a dent. We had a treatment be approved this year.
That there's the difference.
Yeah, all the work and all the people involved. You know, I've partnered with the National Alzheimer's Association in the States, and you know they've been at it for 40 years, and we're just now making breakthroughs. You know, I've been at this for 5 or 6, and we've helped raise all that money, and we've helped a little bit. Like, it takes a massive army, you know, not just raising money, but talking about this every day and bringing awareness. You know, being brave. You know, last night I invited people to come on stage. I'm sure they're all terrified, but those are the moments that make impacts. You know, and now I do speaking events, and you know, I like to say, you know, especially for like people that own care facility centers, you know, they see their own little circle. But I like to encourage people and say, keep doing what you're doing, because you don't see the ripple effect. You know, so just this conversation we're having right now, it feels like it's in this moment, but it's going to have a ripple effect. So.
It always does, and that's exactly what you
do. Cut you off, sorry.
No, because that's a huge amount of money, and it's not even about the money, is it? As we've said, it's about the fact that people can resonate with it, people can listen to this song, see what you did, and see that you brought your mum on stage, what it meant to you. It's a moment that really got to a lot of people. But where do you go from here? Because you speak of medicine, because that is something amazing. Because, you know, music is medicine.
Yes.
But actually creating something that will change lives is something fantastic. So how are you going to utilize your music to continue to make that change?
Well, I feel like, you know, I've been doing this for a long time by myself. And then I did this show called NBC's The Voice. And, you know, did a brave thing, and all these doors have opened since. But I realized I can't do it alone anymore. So I decided to fire all the negative people in my life, which there was a few hanging on for dear life, and only circle the people around me that have like minds, like hearts, similar passions. We talk about the word intentions a lot. You can say whatever you want, say the goofiest, most hurtful things, but if you have the right intention, that's what matters to me. So I signed a record deal. You know, we have publicists, one of them, Georgie, here in the UK, and my manager, Stacey Stavola, and I've kind of taken the doors that are cracked open for me and, you know, put her in front of them, and she's kicked them open, and she's a big part of the reason why we came here. So now we're talking about possibly doing something in the United Nations and in Australia even, and you know, I think my mind is wide open now. Anything's possible. So I think it's on me just to continue to be brave and do what I do, and just to make music and be completely honest and open and vulnerable.
Certainly, you've already hit the White House. You've gone to the heights. So, yeah, but I think that kind of level means that you're being heard. That's what's important. Being heard and being understood, and I can see that happening. Now you have just released some fabulous music as well. Friday, you and your wife. I know because I played them both together.
Yeah. Oh, right on. Thank you.
Absolutely, she's phenomenal.
Thank you.
She's phenomenal, and so are you. And that is a great song, Hearty Break Itself, because it's also, you know, you speak vulnerably in all of your music. Your music tells a lot of stories, listen to you the whole way down. And one of my own personal favourites is Man of the House.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and I just think there's certain subjects and conversations that you have in your music that I don't think many people speak about. It's it's very much about your upbringing and what you experienced. But I think that song as well was saying I wasn't going to try again. My heart was broken, and I said no, but you did. And what's your advice to people out there about to find love again? So I think that's really important, and this is part of your journey right now. You are doing this together. You're both reaching great heights together. You both started off working your ass off.
Yeah, Kylie, my wife, she told her mom when she was 12 years old, I'm gonna skip college. I'm gonna move to Nashville to be a country singer. And she did just that, and it's been really, really inspiring to come along her side and be her biggest champion and advocate. I'm quite a bit older than her too, and I've been through a lot of them along the way. We get to lean on each other, and we get to have really honest conversations and experiences together. And when I met her, I was going through a divorce. It was a weird time, but she just gave me this sense of confidence that it was okay. We do that for each other, we get to write songs about it. Like I said, I just wrote a song about her the other day called 4,000 Miles, because we're 4,000 miles apart right now. So.
First time since you've been married, right?
Yeah. But the Heart Ain't Gonna Break Itself, kind of a little bit of a story behind that, which we just got to hear for the first time on BBC a couple of days ago, which is cool. And then we played at the Cavern Club where the Beatles were founded.
Legendary.
And the moment we walked in the door, two ladies approached us, said they'd been waiting for us for over 4 hours for us to show up. And then, like I said, we had just, it was like Sunday or Monday, we had just released it Friday, and they were singing everywhere. The story behind that song is pretty cool for me because, when I went on The Voice, they offered me a bunch of songs that I should sing and I shouldn't sing. My very first choice was Till You Can by Cody Johnson, because I obviously relate to the message. And then the producers chose that song for me as well. And so then I realized I know the songwriters of that song. And so one of them's one of my good buddies, one of my first friends in Nashville, Ben Stennis. So I reached out to him. I wasn't supposed to tell him, but I told him I'm going to sing this song on The Voice. He immediately broke down and said, Jay, I don't believe I ever told you this, but in the writer's room that day, we were talking about you and your mother and your story, along with a couple other stories. His dad has dementia, and the other songwriter, Matt, his mom had a rare stroke, and they'll never be the same again. So we both broke down, and he prayed for me over the phone, and I got to sing that song on The Voice. It took on a whole new meaning for me. But then when I came back from The Voice, he said, Jay, can I share some other music with you? So he shared with me Heart Ain't Gonna Break Itself, and I fell in love with it. So I'm honestly not a writer on the song, believe it or not, but I connected with it. So I'm going to continue to do that. Like I said, I've written 2,000 songs, but I also wanted to, bring up the writers community. I did that for 5 years in Nashville, with very little success, and a lot of them don't get any breaks, so I'm going to cut songs with other songwriters.
So you've toured a few venues in the UK. How have you found the reception of the audience?
Yeah, well, my guitarist, Hunter, who's here right now, he would say the Cavern Club was probably the coolest experience. Just to be on a stage where, the biggest band of all time was founded. Pretty cool experience. For me, it was cool because when we walked in, there was two ladies that said they'd been there for 4 hours waiting for us to show up. Then they sang every word to Heart Ain't Gonna Break Itself, the song we just released, which was great for me because I don't even know how to sing it yet. So I just watched them sing it. But we've had so many beautiful experiences. Last night we played at the Pheasantry to kind of round out our trip, our little tour. And just to see a packed room and tears in people's eyes. And for me, it was more so about the conversations after than the show. But then, my manager took a video of us doing Blank Stares, which I've performed and sang. I can't tell you how many times at this point. Every time's different, but there's something about last night, being here, having an official tour in the UK, which a place I never thought I'd be able to come to. I suddenly just felt this peace that my mother was present. She was such a shy, selfless human being, never would have a spotlight on her, never left her hometown, nonetheless went out outside of the country. So for her to be known and her story and her name to be known all the way over here, it kind of just hit me, So that was a beautiful experience. Our very first thing that we did when we came here is we did a little pop-up and played for a care facility center in Wales. and elderly people that are sick, that have dementia and not well, and to kind of give them a moment to laugh. And I go out of my way to make people laugh, and so I let lady literally kiss me, so and to shine light on the caregivers. That was the biggest reason why we were there. Caregivers, if you know anyone that's a caregiver, they don't want people to know, and they won't tell you. That's why they are who they are, and why they do what they do. They're humble human beings and angels of human beings. So just to be with them, a lot of them were young, our age or even younger. It's hard to explain what they do until you're there in their environment, and they're not. It's not glamorous, I really connect with them because I had to watch my little sister do things and see things that a daughter should never have to do and see. Bathe my mother, all the above. My dad, slowly watch the love of his life disappear and have to take care of her. My uncle quit his job, retired early, left Austin, Texas to live with her full time. So we've gone out of our way to shine a light on them and to raise them up. And so that was my most precious, beautiful experience here.
I bet it was. And you're right what you say about the care homes and how it isn't glamorous, but music is magic to them. It brings them back to life.
Oh, yeah.
And I know because I was also doing that when I was about 14 years old, and I always say to musicians that I work with along the line, those are the places to go, because they hear you, and it means you change things.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a really fantastic point, and a very valid point too. And that's exactly it. Coming over here and doing something for the people, and recognizing that it doesn't just impact those people; it impacts their families and how they feel. And music is a medicine, as we've said. So it's a wonderful thing that you've done here. But the audience is waiting 4 hours and knowing the words to your song before for the song only to have been released in a matter of hours. That just goes to show how far and wide your music has reached. Has that happened across the globe as well?
I honestly don't think about it until it happens, and then we come back to the hotel and Hunter's like, dude. I'm like, yeah, wow, how cool, For me, it's, I take a lot of pride in knowing that I'm always checking myself, and I have people around me that keep me checked, especially my wife. And no matter what happens, just keep your intentions right and your heart pure, and remember why I'm doing it. I have people, especially friends in Nashville, you ask them what they want to do and what they're trying to accomplish, and they will say to your face outright, I want to be famous. And to me, that is just so empty. What is the point of that? So for me, to be able to lay my head down at night, remember it's not about me, and to see all the beautiful things that have happened, the ripple effects like we talked about, all the people that, are getting to have moments of healing and connectivity because of us trying to be brave, so.
And you touring America?
Yeah, they call us the Weekend Warriors. I'm going every single weekend, so we literally fly back tomorrow night, get up the next day, I have to take off again. So. And
where are you traveling to next?
You name it, we're going there. So right. Stacy, my manager, has so many things lined up for me. I'm tired just thinking about it. But she's already planning. We're working on a spring tour. I'm gonna try to do a headlining spring tour at the top of next year. Just hit everywhere in the States, and then we want to come back over here. I'm gonna put it out in the world. We really want to do C2C, make that happen. I know Kylie wants to make that happen too, so maybe we'll come over together and do that together. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of the biggest festivals that we have in the UK, certainly, and it's an opportunity for you as artists to integrate with the UK audience and have that opportunity to grow their name.
Yeah.
But also, you get to navigate all the smaller artists, because that's really important, because that's what I think is important to you, and Kylie, that's what I see, is that you are advocates of smaller artists. You take people along with you, you work with other artists and songwriters to make sure that you're helping people up too.
Oh yeah, we had Sasha open up for us last night. If you haven't heard of her, check her out. Her story is stunning, and she's an open book, and she just owned the stage and such a beautiful voice. So, we like to champion people like that, because I didn't have that, I had it at one time, and that's why I stayed in Nashville. Thank God for Billy Creamton, but so we like to do that for other people as well.
Right place, right time, Jay.
Yeah.
That's usually the way it works, and I'm by God's good grace as well, and it's something that's really important to you, is believing in what drives you. So thank you for your time today, and for and for coming over here and spreading your message. Keep doing it. Hi guys, it's Jess T on countryradiouk. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and know that there will be plenty more music videos, live exclusives and performances from country music artists across the UK and beyond.